In an interview yesterday, Magic Johnson says LeBron bears the responsibility for his role in the Lakers' underperforming roster this season, saying, quote, "When I think about it, the blame that he has to take is the fact that DeRozan ended up in Chicago and not with the Lakers. DeRozan wanted to play for the Lakers, but when Russell and LeBron and them started talking, that's when they nixed that deal and went with Westbrook." Interesting. Shannon, what's your take here? Does LeBron deserve some of this blame?
Damn, his Magic family? Magic be airing all the tea within the family circle. I thought he and Jeannie were like brothers and sisters. I think this is he still got it in for Rob Pelinka.
He does.
This is all about Rob. Skip, look, and I get what Magic's saying, but it's hard for me to see a scenario where I'm going to place the blame at LeBron's feet. Because at the end of the day, general managers and player personnel directors and presidents don't call LeBron. They call Rob Pelinka. And I understand that it's hard to tell a guy like a LeBron James no. But Jerry Krause did it. It was very successful. Every person that Jerry Krause, that Michael Jordan wanted, Jerry Krause went in the opposite direction, and it was the best move.
A bunch of them were Tar Heels. They were.
He did.
Like Al Wood.
Yeah. Skip, if you think about it, it's the guys that didn't play basketball that are the best at this. The Sam Presties, the R.C. Bufords, the guys of that nature.
I agree.
That never played the game. And guys like Michael Jordan, the guys like Magic Johnson, they struggle. I believe LeBron, because LeBron is looking at it from a distance. You have to look at a guy, okay, man, that guy's really balling, but how would he play with me? See, he didn't see Russ like, Russ had the ball in his hand, LeBron. So if he comes to you, are you moving off the ball permanently? Or is he going to have to spend the majority of the time off the ball? If you look at Russ games, Russ plays best when what, Skip? LeBron's not playing. So now he's on the ball.
Although when Russ has played by himself, he's 0-5, but go ahead.
Yeah, but his numbers look good. You see, his numbers look good, though, Skip.
And that's all that matters to him.
There it lies, Skip.
Yep.
So even if LeBron says yes, I think that DeRozan had more to do with that third year as opposed to, the Russ getting involved because Chicago was willing to guarantee the third year at $30 million, and the Lakers were not willing to guarantee a third year at all. It makes it very, very easy for DeMar DeRozan, like, well, okay, Chicago, here I come. Did people forget DeMar DeRozan is from L.A.? He went to USC, just like Russ is from L.A., went to UCLA. He's a hometown kid, too.
Yeah, I mean, he grew up here, too. Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
He wanted to be here. Anybody that's talking about...
He's straight out of Compton, I think.
Straight out of Compton.
Okay.
He was on my podcast, Skip, and you listen, and that was before free agency actually started. And you hear him talk, I'm willing to make some concessions as far as salary to make it work for the Lakers. Now, ain't nobody making no $30 million concession, Skip. Ain't nobody doing that, nor should he. But to say like LeBron, Rob Pelinka has an obligation. Jeannie Buss put him in charge, not LeBron. And I know it's hard to tell these superstars no. But at the end of the day, Skip, you've got to do what's best interest of the team, not the best interest of one individual. Now, I do believe LeBron was trying to say, I believe Russ will help us. But, Rob, you've been around this thing long enough. You know what Russ is. You know Russ needs the ball. You know Bron is going to have the ball. What in God's green earth made you think that this was going to work? But I still think Magic think Rob undercut him at some point. Because there are a lot of things that, I still believe that he and Jeannie Buss are close. I do believe they have a brother-sister type relationship because they're damn near the same age and they came up together in the organization. But Skip, I never seen anything like this, Skip. I've never seen anything like what Magic did yesterday. I've never seen anything like it. So, he let that all the tea.
Shannon, your man Bron, he's having a rough ride here at the end of this season because one day Kareem Abdul-Jabbar takes shots. I thought they were cheap shots, low blows, out-of-bounds shots. But then the very next day, I'm hearing, wait a second, Magic is taking shots?
Yeah. When Magic talk, people listen, though.
That is true. That is a fact. But remember, Winning Time on HBO is starting to catch fire. I think it got off to a little bit of a slow start because so much was going on around it, but slowly but surely I'm hearing from a lot of people around me in my little circle, and they're starting to get into it.
Right.
I've watched 3 episodes. I haven't quite caught up yet, but but it's starting to catch fire for me. My problem is I lived through it, so it's I'm watching somebody play Magic,
right.
and I don't. He's doing the best he can do, but Magic's still with us, and I know Magic, and I knew him when he was a rookie, and I just can't get there.
Skip, that's the thing for me. I watched the first episode, but I don't like the negative portrayal that they have of Magic. So I was like, nah, I can't do that.
Okay, all right. And then I don't like the negative portrayal of Jerry West, but that's just me because I'm a fan of his.
Right.
And he is greatness to me, but he did make one mistake. He did not want Magic Johnson with the first overall pick. Okay, so I think that's a fact.
Sidney Moncrief?
He did. He wanted Sidney Moncrief out of Arkansas, and that's who Larry Bird had knocked off in the regional finals to get to Magic in the Final Four. Okay, the point is, boy, Magic is slinging it here because he goes right at LeBron by name, and he says it's his fault because the way he understands it from the agent, he says the agent called him that DeMar wants to come home. But to your point, well, I'm sure he was also talking to the real GM of the Lakers.
Correct.
And does Magic still have a little bitterness toward how it all fell up? Sure he does.
Because remember, he was talking about how, people was going behind his back and saying things and doing things. And for all indication, people believe he was talking about Rob.
Okay. So the point is, I don't know exactly the timeline of this. But Magic's view of it is that he could have been a Laker instead of a Bull, but when Russell and LeBron and them started talking, AD.
I guess, AD.
That's when they nixed the deal and went with Westbrook. Okay, so he's just flat out laying it at LeBron's feet saying, hey, that's on you, big man, because you had this. And then the fallout from it that he points out is that you had a chance, if you go DeRozan free agent, you have a chance to keep your role players. You could keep Caruso and you could keep KCP. And he said those guys who are our best defenders, they left. And that's why we were a bad defensive team. He's doing it in the past tense like they're done for this year.
Yeah, well, they are. He knows.
Okay, all right. But he says if you sign DeRozan, you only trade Kuzma for Buddy Hield. That'd be a sweet move. If you could do it all, okay? Then he says we would be playing in the Western Conference Finals. Well, you'd have to stay healthy. There are a lot of X factors in there, but maybe so.
But Skip, don't you think, let's say LeBron goes out, AD and DeRozan are a better match than Westbrook and AD. AD goes out, LeBron is a better match with DeRozan than he is Westbrook.
Okay.
Because now DeRozan can also facilitate. But Skip, his mid-range game.
Okay, just for the record, because I do follow the Spurs, it's hard for me to love them quite as much as the Duncan Parker or Ginobili, but I watched them carefully for the couple of years DeMar was there as their go-to guy. And trust me, he wasn't this guy that the guy who reemerged in Chicago is spectacular. For a while, I thought he was going to win the MVP.
But Skip, the Spurs got a system. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like Michael Jordan at UNC. You're like, hold up. Why were you doing that at UNC? Because you're going to play Coach Smith's way. That's it. You're going to play Coach Pop's way. And really nobody gets outside of that purview. So it's really hard to tell.
Pop always said Ginobili could lead this league in scoring if he didn't play for me. Okay, so.
I mean, think about it. He had to show Kawhi, get out there and score 25, 26. I'm tired of you scoring 12 just sitting back here. Get out and do it. And then Kawhi took off.
All right. So this is a pretty damning shot that he takes at LeBron because he's just saying it's your fault because you got caught up in Westbrook. And I do believe LeBron got caught up in the star power of a guy who for the last 5 years had averaged a triple-double. It's impossibly great.
What are the Lakers known for? Stars.
Wilt
Chamberlain, Kareem, Shaq.
It's almost ironically the theme of Winning Time was that Jerry Buss, as a fledgling new owner who didn't have a clue, said, wait a second, I don't want Sidney Moncrief. I want this guy with the smile.
With the
I want that guy because he's a star, and this is Hollywood, baby.
Yes.
And Dr. Buss was very caught up in the Hollywood scene and lifestyle, and he's like, nobody's coming to these games. They'll come and see that guy. I don't think they'll come and see Sidney Moncrief. Okay, and he was correct about that, and that launched Winning Time, as that was Magic's
Sidney Moncrief had a nice career. He's in the Hall of Fame. He ain't Magic.
Okay, but the problem is Westbrook isn't Magic. Like Westbrook, to me, got exposed. Westbrook is fraudulent because he's a stat machine who cares only about his personal stats, and he prioritizes personal stats over winning basketball games.
And that works in OKC.
It did.
That works in Houston.
No doubt.
That works in Washington.
It really worked in Washington.
That's not going to fly here because they know great basketball. They've seen winning basketball from the 70 Lakers, the 80 Lakers, the early 2000 Lakers, and the 2010 Lakers with Kobe. So they know winning. They're not – see, Russ thought he could come home, play like he's been playing, lose, and he will still be embraced because I'm the hometown kid. And the Laker Nation say, oh, nah, hell no. We love you. We understand you still at Laker. I mean, you're a hometown LA kid, but we value winning more than hometown heroes. So if you're not going to win, that's why they haven't embraced him, and they boo, and he gets upset. Well, I don't even pay these fans no mind. His home fans, he don't pay them any mind because they're unwilling. They will not accept the type brand of basketball that he plays that does not lead to winning.
Agreed. And furthermore, I believe LeBron